All right, so welcome to another episode of Trails and Therapy. I am joined today by my wife, Jessica. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really, really well. We're gonna take a different path today. We normally was doing a Grand Prairie Trail by our house, but we're gonna take a different path today and get to see a little bit more sights of the city of Grand Prairie. How you feeling about that?
Feeling good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the title for today's Trails and Therapy?
Trails heal therapy or trails? Something about, I don't remember the title.
Well,
5 seconds ago.
Oh well.
So we'll put that up.
Yeah.
But it's basically how being out with nature and stuff and being away from everything just kind of gets us away from the busyness, and you talk about, even if it's just about your day,
Right.
you know, it helps.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this morning, we didn't really want to get out of bed, to be honest.
Who does?
Well, you know, I'm a morning person. My wife not. Just thinking about what this does for you for the rest of your day can be really helpful to get you up and out of bed. It's good exercise. They moving, get flowing. So I enjoy doing it. It might not be enjoyable all the time, right? It might be hot, you know, weather permitting type of things.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more enjoyable like in a month.
Oh yeah. When it cools off a little bit.
It'll still be in the 90s, but
fortunately today, I mean, it's not that bad. It's what was 78, but real feel was what?
85.
85. So it's not that bad. There's a little air movement too, so it's not like stagnant or really humid. So it's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah. Gonna be hitting traffic soon, so that's gonna.
What'd you say?
So hopefully there's not that much traffic down there at the end.
Oh yeah. So because I think we're heading toward
20.
I-20. So we'll see when we get down there. It is early. Today is Sunday. So it might not be that bad, but we're gonna avoid traffic no matter what anyway, So thinking about the city of Grand Prairie, before we get really deep into something, what are you thinking about it so far in our move and everything that's taking place for when we first got here to now where we are?
The city's nice. I like our area because we're literally in the middle of everything, so we don't need to, but we're still away, like where the house is set, which I like. We're kind of tucked away.
Mm-hmm.
And but I mean, we don't have to go more than not even 5 miles.
Right. Did you hear those chickens? So that lets you know, guys, like we're in the city, but it's some country like living too. Just heard some chickens and roosters crowing here just a second ago. Do roosters crow? What do they do?
They crow.
They crow. Okay, I just want to make sure I was saying that right. So yeah, I think I feel the same way. I mean, it's like where we were living in Fort Worth, it wasn't like this for sure. Things were kind of spread out, but the type of neighborhood we was in was a house right next to you, and you know, it was just a neighborhood. Where we live right now, the neighbors aren't really that close. I mean, you can see them, but we have land, so it's a different feel, a different vibe. And just like recently, we was able to throw up a volleyball, badminton, you know, buy some frisbees and get out in our own land and be able to do those activities, which there was like really no way for us to do that at our last house.
Yeah.
So this has been really, really cool.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part. I mean, there's been a few bumps, but we just, you know, some things we just
Well, you're always going to have something like that, right? Everything's not
can't
going to
deal
always
with
be
right
perfect.
now.
Yeah.
But city part wise, though, I mean, literally Walmart is like, we can see it.
Yeah, walking distance.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we might walk there in a little bit.
So that's nice. Hair place is close by. Gas stations close by, you know, just everything.
Really close to the airport, which is another good thing. IKEA is close by, for those of you who love IKEA.
The mall, the outlet malls, a variety of restaurants.
Yep.
I mean,
for the most part, people are really friendly. We haven't run into any craziness.
no.
So yeah.
So yeah.
Good times, good times.
Nothing. Over here. Weed whack. Or trim, or whatever it's called.
Get up this dead grass that they left.
Well, just to edge it up.
Yeah, that too.
And one guy on YouTube needs to come over here.
Oh yeah, it goes around cutting people's yards, and
Yeah.
at least he's overgrown for nothing.
Yeah, he gets in trouble for that sometimes.
I know, it's pretty
It
wild.
makes no sense.
Well, you know, people like their privacy, and
No, from like random, like he once did it and a cop showed up or something.
well, I've seen a cop show up, but it was a good encounter. It wasn't nothing
Oh no, I saw
bad.
one where it was like bad, and he was like, there was some kind of behind the scenes about it though. Like,
It might have been some undercover stakeout.
well, no, I think they wanted something with the property owner had so much time to clean up their yard, and they were trying to prevent that happening. They wanted the house or something like that.
Oh.
It was something real shady. And he went back and did it anyways.
Okay, well.
Because it was like an older person.
Well, I guess now that we've warmed up a little bit, let's get into the therapy side of the house. What would you like to start?
Oh.
Well, we're not supposed to make it sound like a for the people that are watching. We want to share.
I say because I'm not good at broaching topics.
Oh, okay, okay.
Go across?
We'll cross up there at the crosswalk.
Let's do it properly.
Yeah, you know, obey all the laws and legalities of walking in your local neighborhood city.
Yeah, I don't know. School's about to start, so that's good.
So how do you feel about the kids going to a new school?
I'm okay with it. I think they're okay with it. Some that are going to be nervous, I know. I think our youngest, she says she's nervous, but I think she'll just get right in.
Yeah.
It's going to be an issue.
Yeah, it's like I was telling you guys, we are right beside I-20, as you can see. So we'll have to speak up a little louder. Make sure you can hear us as we
Sure, Mike.
come up beside this frontage road. I don't think you want to walk holding a mic, so yeah, some wireless mics would be nice to hook to a GoPro system. Anybody want to donate to us, that'd be great. Leave a comment on that. You know what I mean? We'll reach out, I promise. So yeah, I mean, I know the kids will have, there's gonna be challenges anytime you go to a new school, because one of the biggest thing is you're leaving your friends at your old school.
Yeah.
But it's different than like when I grew up. Well, initially there was no cell phones. There was no kind of long distance communication like that. And you definitely wasn't calling anybody long distance, because that was actually an extra charge.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So now it's a little bit different when you got your iPads and you can FaceTime people, and so you can keep those connections going. So that'll be a little bit different, but I think it's more along the physical aspects of being with your friends. And when you're with your friends at school, it's a daily thing. I mean, you can make it a daily thing, but most likely, because you have so many different things going on at your new school and activities, eventually it won't be a daily thing. So that can lead to some, you know, I guess, for the lack of a better word, hardship or whatever, when it comes to friends.
Yeah. Yeah, I never went to a different school. So.
Yeah, and it was really, wow, that's loud. It was really challenging for me, because I remember my mother joining the Air Force, and as a young kid, my first moving experience was all the way to Germany. So going to a foreign land without the benefit of all those things, I mean, you could write people, and I had my uncle wrote me a few times, but he was drawing cartoon art for me and stuff like that. So that was cool. But then losing contact with all your cousins, then you're in a foreign land, you don't know the language, and it's just you and your mother. So trying to feel like the man of the house at a very young age. So, but you know, like I said to you all the time, those kind of things that shape my character and help me to become who I am right now. So I don't look at them as a negative, but I do understand to look at them and understand how those things shape me, and hopefully it taught me a lot of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
About being independent, about being strong, about leadership, because there's a lot of people that get caught up in friendships that really aren't friendships, and they get taken advantage of because they want to be with people so bad and want to have certain connections, and they don't know any different, and so you can get taken advantage of that way.
It's true. Quite a few.
Yeah. You want to speak on it and what you learned?
Well, some of them I learned early, some of them I learned late, but just the advantage part, and you just not wanting to rock the boat, or I'm sure I did stuff. Went to a small school, so everybody knew everybody's business, everybody knew everybody's family. So it was just kind of suffocating, in a way, for me at least.
Right.
But I wasn't one to really hang out with like my classmates all the time. So I worked, I hung out with probably people I shouldn't have, older people.
Mm-hmm. So when you say people you shouldn't have, older people, what was the why do you say it that way?
Because I was hanging out with pretty much grown people at 16, sneaking into clubs and stuff. So, I mean, I was just stuff like that, trying to be older.
Right, before you needed to be.
Yeah. And being in a small town, having no wherewithal of what is really out there.
Right. Well, that brings me to another interesting thing I would like to talk about with you today is, you know, kids then and kids now. We see a lot now especially in this digital age where kids are staying home longer. So like you were saying, back in the day, you know, we really tried to get our license and get out and have some freedoms, but that's not necessarily the case now. What do you think about the change, how it affects kids psychologically, socially even, and the family dynamics?
I think some kids, they're just, I want to say they're coddled. You know, we don't push as hard as, but also we didn't know, we wanted to see what was out there. Pretty much you could sit at home and you can see what's out there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so you're not in that rush to go thinking you're missing something, because hell, you can just turn on your phone.
Go on the internet, right? See what you want to see.
And plus, we had
live and video too.
We had like, I don't know, like which is a good thing, as we focus more on like mental health and stuff. We realize and we acknowledge it. And back in the 80s, it was just like, suck it up. So you kind of had to not fend for yourself, but you had to try to push through. You know, there wasn't therapy, there wasn't, you know.
Well, there was. It's just it was looked at differently, right? It wasn't like you could just go get a hold of it either. It wasn't like you could go on the internet and seek anybody.
It was like ridiculous.
There's Walmart, everyone.
So I don't know. And just the way the economy is, the way the job system is right now, and you kind of don't have a choice sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
So, I mean,
so
pros and cons.
So I look at it a certain kind of way as well. I feel as a parent, I don't think all of us are like this, but because of the new dangers out in this world and everything that goes on that we see that has changed over time, a lot of us are more protective of our children, right? We want to protect them as much as possible. We want to make sure they get the right type of education as much as possible. And before they really get out there, so we'll keep them even longer in the home, if you will, to make sure they have the best opportunity possible to grow before they step out there on their own. Now, eventually, we all gotta take the plunge. So yeah, they're gonna have to do that and get out there and start to experience life outside of the parents' home. But I think a lot of times now it's a little later in life. But it also depends on the makeup of that child and what they really want out of life. If they know what they want out of life. Sometimes, you know, what I'm seeing is they don't really know what they want to do. Did you know, when would you say you knew exactly what you wanted to do in life?
Well, what I wanted to do, I knew early. I knew in my high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I just knew which is no excuse, but memory, I've always had a shitty memory.
Mm-hmm.
And just the opportunities I had, I didn't know, no one helped me really. Like, I didn't know the questions to ask to where I wanted to go.
Uh-huh.
I mean, when I would talk about it with people, they would put kind of doubt in my head, and I would just kind of, you know, it's a cute story. I'd be like, yeah, you're right, you know?
Yeah.
Because I knew it was going to be a lot of work. But we didn't have the facilities up north either, like where I was from. So, and plus I didn't have the schooling, you know, I just did it wrong. I could have done what I wanted to do.
Right. You had the opportunity.
I could have, yeah.
Well, what did you want to do?
Forensic pathology.
Forensic pathology, wow. And so you never got back on that trail?
No, I'm just obsessed with it.
So when did
but-
that change from wanting to do to like, well, I'll never do it?
Well, honestly, I still want to do it. I mean, it's just, but it's not, you know, it's never, that's not going to happen. But,
Well, why do you say it's not going to happen?
because, you know, by the time you get out of medical school and everything, I'll be like in my late mid-60s,
Right.
you know, and no one wants to hire someone that's going to retire soon and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I thought about embalming school because that's only, I think, 11 weeks or something like that, or, you know. But I don't know. I kind of just make excuses like, you know, the kids or, you know, stuff we're doing here. Just, I don't know. But it changed. I mean, I kind of sealed the deal when, you know, started having kids and started moving everywhere.
Okay.
Again, there's no, if I really wanted to do it, I guess it could have been done.
Right.
I don't see me being military wife and being in that profession though. I would have to, that would have been, it would have been on hold anyways.
And I think, you know, it's good to share this information, especially with people out there, because it's like, if you really, really, really say that you want to do something, you shouldn't let anything stop you. But you do have to understand the consequences of your everyday life and how that can stop you or sway you or change your course.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. If I was like already in it, and I wouldn't have had as many kids, and
Or you might not have any.
yeah,
Right. That's always been a big topic of discussion with me, or a big thought when it comes to women and what they want to do in their profession. Because a lot of times we hear, you know, you want to do these things, but then how do you balance that if you say you want kids? Because it's not necessarily an easy balance to do. Because kids, from a mother's standpoint, right, and it can be from a father's standpoint too, is going to take up a majority of your time.
a lot of them do it, but I don't have the energy for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it's going to take up time. That means you got to expend more energy.
Or you wait till they're capable of like.
So then you say you have your kids early and then go pursue your thing? Because once you start having kids, that whole thing doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Even when they leave the house, that doesn't stop, right?
Yeah, but that's when you really got it. You know, obviously
Yeah.
you have to.
Cut load.
Yeah, I mean, if they can stay at home by themselves and make a sandwich or a pot of soup, then you can take night class. You know, stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's always a way to figure it out.
So yeah, we're in the back of something right now.
Sam's.
Sam's, yeah, Sam's Club.
Oh yeah.
It is warming up out here too.
Hey.
Yes, indeed.
You're hungry.
We did bring some cherry plums with us, but my wife doesn't really mess with those, so.
No, I can't eat fruit on an empty stomach. Wish Einstein's was around here. I mean, it's not all that.
It is, but it's not in walking distance.
Yeah, that's true. So what do you want to do if you didn't join the military?
Me, really, honestly, was really sports. I really loved basketball, but profession-wise, I really don't know. To be honest, I was so enamored by basketball, and I was really good at it, that that took up a lot of my thoughts. But probably a scientist, some type of scientist. I love science. I love learning. I love knowing things about our planet, our environment, how, you know, it affects us. I mean, I was in a lot of hazmat and environmental type stuff, you know, in military, obviously, but I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed a lot of different things though. I enjoyed drafting, so maybe an engineer, some type of engineer. I mean, I enjoyed a lot of different aspects like STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah.
Something along in one of those fields for sure. My dad, he wanted me to be a lawyer, but you know, those can be pipe dreams because he watched Perry Mason, you know what I mean? Because law school is very expensive and you gotta have the grades to do all that. I wasn't really interested in school like that. And maybe that's because of all the moving around, growing up in the kind of household that I grew up in. But I am interested in learning, which is kind of oxymoronic.
I think a lot of people don't do well in a school setting, but are smart.
Yeah.
Like, I knew my stuff. I was just lazy. I just was like, I ain't got time for this.
Yeah.
I wish I could go. I mean, I wouldn't want to go back to high school, but I just wish I did things differently. So I always tell the kids, I'm like, dude, this is like nothing compared to the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But this is the easiest it's gonna be.
Well, it's the most, how to say it, most things are given to you. So it's not like you're out there earning it, right? So yeah, you got to earn the grades, you got to do the work, but everything is pretty much given to you. You know, if you live in a stable household,
Yeah.
you know, food, clothing, shelter, all those things. So when you got to get out there and get all those things yourselves, that gives you a whole different perspective. So I know my wife is getting tired. We're gonna cross over here really soon. Matter of fact, there's a sidewalk right there that we're gonna go to. So we're gonna straight line to that sidewalk. Be very specific with my wife when we're walking. All right, get some sun glare. But as you've seen, we just kind of did a little neighborhood trek. Didn't necessarily want to show you the trail again so fast, so soon.
Yeah, it's getting kind of repetitious.
Yeah. Because when you're out here walking in therapy, you want things to look at that are not the same all the time. But as you can see, the city of Grand Prairie looks really beautiful. I mean, they're cutting stuff. There's some areas obviously that can use some work, but for the most part, it's great out here.
Yeah, it's comfy. For the bugs.
But they're not so bad now. So once we have our little bug deterrent kits.
A different breed.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully this week, well, no, we have meet the teachers, so it'll be good. School starts, we get a routine going.
Yep. Looking forward to it. I mean,
That's your thing, so.
yeah, and I think just for the Trails and Therapy portion of this as well, it's good to have family goals, plans, things to look forward to accomplish. Because for me in my life, the sense of accomplishment has always been a great thing. That's why I'm not too much of a procrastinator. I like that feeling of accomplishing things. It's like building upon stuff, it's like building blocks. So to have a plan, to execute that plan, and then whatever the outcome, to know that it's done, right? Because whatever you do, you can learn lessons from it. And then, with those lessons, what does that help you do? It helps you build better and to continue to grow. So for those of you in the business segment, you know lessons learned, but those things definitely need to be applied to your everyday life as well. So that's what I like to do. What do you think?
No, yeah. I mean, that sounds good.
What do you mean it sounds good?
I mean, I unfortunately am a huge procrastinator. I'm trying to get better. So.
And it's the same process, right? So if you are a type of person that's a procrastinator and you're trying to get better, guess what you're doing? Lessons learned.
Yeah.
Right? But the only thing when it comes to lessons learned, you can't just say it. You got to actually look at the lesson, learn from it, and then guess what you have to do? You got to apply it. You got to apply it. Right? And it's got to be repetitious. It's got to be over time. It can't just be one time and then you think you got it. It has to be a continual thing. And just like how do you develop habits, right? You got to continue to do things the same way over and over and over. Yeah. Well, however long it takes for you. Not everybody's the same.
Yeah.
But you got to apply it, people. Anything you want to get better at. Lessons learned and application. These are nice looking apartments.
I know.
Could you imagine getting in the pool right now?
That would be nice. A private pool, not a public pool. Yeah, that would be nice.
Creekside. Well, what else we want to tell them, Jess? What else we want to talk about?
There's lots of mundane stuff to talk about, but
because as we always say, therapy is very important to everybody, and this is a lot of therapy for us as well.
Yeah, I mean, like we said in the last one or whatever, I think our communication kind of was lacking.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second. What makes communication become lacking?
Complacency, probably.
Complacency.
I mean.
So when you think it is what it is or what it should be without working toward it or in it.
You just kind of get in the norm mode, not realizing that the new norm is.
You created a new habit.
Yeah, yeah.
A habit of non-communication.
Yeah. And everything's fine.
In your mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said many times, I was never a talker, so I don't know if this is even talking this much or talking on camera. This is not my norm.
Right. But guess what we do, people? Build a habit, right? We get out here, we walk around, we do a show called Chills in Therapy, and guess what my wife becomes? A talker.
Wow.
A talker.
Yeah.
Semi-starting, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think just that complacency was a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing our own things, not doing enough together, making us a priority.
And that's one thing I really wanted to share as well. Like, I have absolutely loved how much time we spend together now. Like, we don't even go to stores by ourselves anymore, really.
Yeah.
Like, we're always together, you know. And, you know, future stuff that we have going on in business and work and all that may change some of that. But now that we know more,
Yeah.
guess what we can do? We can plan.
Yeah, it'll
Right.
be a lot more in our front part.
Right. Because we'll miss it.
Yeah.
You know? What's that saying go? Absence makes the heart grow fonder,
Yeah.
or whatever. So we may miss it. So it's definitely something you want to plan. Like you always hear about couples planning date nights and stuff like that. I don't necessarily like to call it that, because it seems so formalized. It's really just spending time together.
Yeah.
Right?
Trying not to talk about the kids.
Yeah. Because there's one thing I've always said about marriage and stuff as well. If the husband and wife ain't working out right, the kids ain't gonna work out right either. Like, the foundation is the union of the couple. So the union of the couple has to be strong for everything else to work.
Yeah.
And if you're working as an individual and you got two individuals, well, I think everybody knows what happens in those cases.
Yeah, and we have dealing with that, so.
Absolutely. So getting on the same page and working together is always the key. And especially if you know or are planning, if you know you're gonna have kids or you're planning to have kids, you have to be very smart on how you do things. The partner that you select to do those things with, and all that. Any thoughts on that?
No, that's like 100%.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't, I mean, everyone needs work, so you're not going to find like the perfect partner, but
get as close as you can.
yeah.
So what does that mean? So when I say that to you, like, get as close as you can, what does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, if you get with someone and you know they're good with kids and you know they have a, you know, they're responsible, but they're crappy at their housework, you know, you can work with that. You know, but you see him and you meet someone and he has already 2 other kids that he doesn't take care of. You know, it's not a good candidate.
Right.
You know, or her, you know, if she's, you know, just sits home all day, watches, I don't know.
Whatever.
You come home from work and there's not noodle one on a plate. You know, that's an issue.
But it doesn't have to be dependent on your personality and your makeup.
Yeah, but
like maybe you don't want a home cooked meal as a guy. I don't know.
I don't want to fit anyone in a box.
Right. But it needs to be matched to you.
Yeah, that's good.
Your makeup, personality-wise, right? And sometimes, you know, those opposites attract, but you got to make sure that's long-term and not just short-term. Because
it's cute at first.
Yeah, there's things like infatuation. I mean, there's a lot of things that make you feel a certain way. You be like, wait a minute, once the light finally cuts on, right? But so you got to make sure the person is an actual match for you. And if it doesn't make sense, you have to be strong enough to say, what? Hey, this don't make sense. Why am I doing this?
Yeah. Hopefully before you bring kids in it.
Yep.
You know, things happen. I mean, everyone would like to start off the proper way.
Yeah. So if that's what you would like, those of you out there listening who haven't yet reached those milestones, make sure you put the right effort in. Don't necessarily just settle, because it's your life, and as far as we know, it's the only one we have. So live life accordingly to the reality that is presented before you and your very own perspective. We're getting close to the end here, so.
Good way to put it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. My head's like a sponge.
Were you just soaking up all this knowledge?
Yeah. It literally feels like a sponge.
So you feel like SpongeBob, huh?
Jeez, ew.
I think in the next Trails in Therapy, maybe we should do something called focus on friends and what true friends are and what they are not. What do you think about that topic?
That's a good subject.
Yeah. Because we're always looking for different topics to get out here and discuss on Trails in Therapy. So for those of you that may be listening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Marvin Network. to this channel, Trails and Therapy. And leave comments, you know, if there's something that you would want to hear about or hear discussed, you can put that in there. We don't mind.
Don't agree.
Yeah, all of that, right? Because we do this as a connection for ourselves, and we hope that you hearing it resonates with you in some kind of way. Solicit some feedback, and let's have some great discussions, you know, and connect, right? That's what it's really about, is connecting, right? So we definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let my wife take us out, and we'll go from there.
All right, so we're about to be home, so we will see you next time on the second. These episodes?
Yeah, this is the third episode of Trails and
Oh.
Therapy.
Yeah. Second of ours.
So we'll see you on episode 4, as
Next
we say in the
time.
military.
And hope as well. Toodles. Expect a different out. I think that was gonna be a thing.
What?
Peace.